McDonald's workers go on strike. Some famous friends are reuniting. A Chicago mayor says she will only grant interviews to black reporters. And Sleepy Joe puts the pedal to the metal in a lightning-fast electric truck. These stories and many more on Headlines with Denny the Bull. Welcome to Headlines. I'm your host, Denny the Bull. I am joined in the Office Now studio with the guy who left paradise for heaven and after about 4 days said, screw this, and came back to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Fresh back from Florida, Mr. Adam Joseph.
Hello, yes, it was so nice.
And Lois Lane has got nothing on this Supergirl. With Headlines, it's our resident red-headed reporter, Red Pill Jenn.
How is everyone doing this
Welcome
fine
back.
Sunday? Thank you.
As always, please like, share, and subscribe. With every like on this video, another liberal will get canceled. And I think we're going to talk about one today, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it's time for this week's pop culture deep thinking question. Adam, you were just in Florida.
Yes.
As you know.
Gorgeous.
And in a typical year, the Walt Disney Company has the top 5 attended theme parks in America, and 6 of the top 10. Universal has 3 in the top 10, and then there's SeaWorld. So apparently it is Disney Hollywood Studios, home of Star Tours and Tower of Terror.
Oh, yeah.
Epcot is number 4.
I do like Epcot, yes.
Okay. Animal Kingdom, number 3. Surprises me.
Really surprising.
Disneyland in California, the original park that Walt Disney designed in 1957, I think it was? Okay.
55.
That's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And the number 1 park by far is the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. Now, the average daily attendance in Magic Kingdom, and just think, you inspired me to do all this research.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Just Magic Kingdom is 57,433 people, and I bet you saw all 57,000 of them, didn't you?
I actually did not go there. I actually went to the other theme park you talked about, was Universal.
It's better.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good. Now, let's think about it. At roughly $200 a head, that's tickets, food, souvenirs, that equals $11.5 million in revenue a day. That is $4.2 billion a year just at one park.
That's a lot.
At Magic Kingdom.
And then they only pay their employees like $10, $12 an hour. So.
Not just that, but they also have those 4 parks. So combine that revenue for all 4 of those parks.
Yeah.
They're
Well, I grew up
making
there.
bank.
I mean, I'm from there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So the average daily attendance in, let's say, Animal Kingdom, that's 38,000 people a day. And it goes down from there, of course. Now, this is where the numbers are staggering. The average daily attendance of all Disney World Florida parks combined is 161,000 people a day. Can you believe that? That's almost as many people as we have driving on Exit 4 every day around 4 o'clock.
And they're almost as badly behaved.
Yeah. Now, for Disney, that's $32 million a day in revenue. Can you imagine counting that money at the end of the day? I don't know about you, but I've been in retail. I've had to count the till at the end of the day. Can you imagine counting $32 million?
Not that much.
Every day.
Yeah.
So, like you were referring to, that means Disney is raking in about $12 billion a year. That's cash just for services in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And the amazing news is they've never been robbed. Have they? Did you think about robbing them while you were down there?
Not kind of, but I'm sure Mickey wouldn't be happy if I did that from him. So
You know they have Disney jail.
Yes, they do.
Do they really?
There's actually an entire network underground at Disney World.
They have 38,000 employees there.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
They have 28 human resource managers.
You can't point with one finger.
Yes.
Just fun fact, you have to use
if you work there, you have to use 2 fingers or a whole hand. You can't just point with one finger.
Yeah,
so I have an idea for a new park for Disney. Okay, now this is if anybody steals this, I'm gonna be really ticked off. But let's call it Disney's Lame Land.
Oh, okay.
All right, they can make it like their bargain park for folks who can only afford like $25 a day for a ticket.
Like the Dollar Tree of theme parks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Walt Disney's Lame Land. The kids can walk around and say, "Hey, Mom, it's the gargoyles from Hunchback of Notre Dame." "Mom, it's the raccoon from Pocahontas." Isn't that cool? It's the Home on the Range petting zoo. What do you think about that idea?
I think it's genius. I don't know why, but it's
you can make it that
funny.
like that seedy park where like the teenagers hang out on Friday night.
Like
Only be every night.
Like the babysitting park.
Like Coney Island is a Disney park.
But you pretty much already just described what Disney World is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, it's already taken, Denny.
So you can have the Chicken Little Skies Falling Ride, right? The Black Cauldron Tower of Terror, whatever.
It's a small world. That's all that needs to be said.
Disney made a lot of lame movies there for about 10 years, from like
they did.
97 till I think Enchanted was kind of like the start of the Disney movies got good.
Yeah, sort of. And then when
like Treasure Planet.
Pixar came in and everything like that. So
Pixar killed them.
yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of iconic tourist destinations, it's time for our weekly Rushmore segment. Jen, who are the finalists, according to our viewers, for the all-time Mount Rushmore to sitcom stars? Any idea who the final four is, or do you have to make it up?
You know, I don't have an idea, so I'm just going to make it up.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear
All right. We got Betty White.
Betty White. What is it with you and Betty White?
She said she's an amazing animal activist, and she's Betty freaking White.
Okay,
She's going to live to like 1,000.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm going to jump in front of you because I
Please
know
do,
who they are.
Because somebody
forgot
screwed
to
up
write
my
them down.
script, so here we are.
Those darn writers.
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
here we go. It actually ended up being Bill Cosby,
Okay.
the Archie Bunker dude,
Yeah,
I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball,
Lucille Ball, yeah.
and it was not Betty White. Okay.
Viewers, come on.
It was Tool Time.
Oh, Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
So-
No.
Yeah. So anyway, this week we are asking you, the Bull Corps, the supporters of the Denny the Bull Show, who should be on the Mount Rushmore of greatest superheroes ever. I'm going to make it a little easier for you. Now, these can be Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, you name it. But obviously, Superman's got to be on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has like every power.
You can't tell them what to do.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell you what to do. But obviously, Superman should be on there. Okay,
You're not
if you
the
want to be
real dad,
legit,
Denny.
okay, and Batman too. Batman's got to be on there, right?
Well, why don't you just make it up?
Okay. Okay. Other than Superman and Batman, who should be on the Mount Rushmore? Well, wait a minute. Spider-Man's like huge.
Oh, my
on-
gosh.
You know.
Oh,
All
my
right.
gosh.
So you can't leave off Wonder Woman or the Hulk, right? How can?
So Denny already did your work
I already
for
did the
you.
work for you.
That's
Never
it.
mind.
You're
I
done.
did it.
Yeah.
So you only get 4. So choose wisely. Personally, I like Hellboy, but that's just me. Comment your comment in the comments, and you will be considered for an exclusive chance to sit with me in line at the Dunkin' Donuts on Wilma Rudolph for 45 minutes this Friday morning, waiting for your morning munchkins.
Yes.
All right, now, Jen, do we have any fan mail?
Of course we do.
Of course, we always get fan mail.
We
I
do.
love it. I love
It's
our fans.
Amazing. They're wonderful people. So we have Lindsay from Cunningham this time, who asks, where did Denny meet Joe Padula?
Where did I meet Joe Padula? Well, Joe and I met near Hollywood in the late 90s. He was fresh out of the 101st Airborne Division Screaming Eagles and was starring as Detective Wadsworth in a movie called Pop Monsters. I had just finished writing the Dark Evil trilogy of horror films, and I saw Joe laying on a beach in Malibu one Saturday morning. There were 2 beautiful ladies rubbing coconut oil all over him as his glistening pecs, you know.
God.
And I was running across the beach, whiter than Casper's ass, with my moves bouncing up and down like 2 grapefruit in a pair of pantyhose. The girls, well, they caught sight of me and they screamed bloody murder. They went, they ran away. I approached Joe. I introduced myself. I asked, why did your lovely ladies run off like that just at the sight of me, Joe? And he said, Denny, look at yourself. If you want to have women rubbing suntan lotion on you like I do, there's a few things you're going to have to do. First, I want you to get a haircut and slick back whatever hair is left with some grooming clean. He said, I want you to go work out 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, and get yourself a nice physique. I want you to go to the tanning salon. Get a nice dark suntan so you don't look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He said, get rid of them boxer shorts. Get yourself a nice tight Speedo. And lastly, and most importantly, he said, go down to the grocery store and buy yourself an avocado.
Avocado.
An avocado. Joe said, buy yourself an avocado, and I want you to put that thing in your Speedo. Give yourself a nice,
Oh, I
give
didn't
yourself a
see
nice
that one
bulge,
coming.
okay? He said, you do all those things, Denny. I guarantee in a couple months, the girls will be all over you, too. So I did everything. I did everything he said. Now, it's a long time ago, right?
Yeah, of course.
I did everything he said. And in 3 months, I came back to that beach in Malibu, and sure enough, Joe was still there, and the girls were still rubbing coconut oil all over him again. So I came running down towards him, and the girls took one look at me, and they looked for a second, and Adam, they screamed, and they ran away again. And I said, Joe, doggone, I did everything you said. I cut my hair, I slicked it back. I worked out hard 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. I got myself a nice suntan. I bought the tightest Speedo that would fit me. And I went to the grocery store, like you said, and I bought that avocado, and I put it in my trunks, just like you said. And Joe looked at me, and he said, yeah, but Denny, I wanted you to drop that avocado in the front of your Speedo.
Oh, my gosh.
The front side. I don't know. Jen, hand me the phone. Hand me the phone, Jen. Thank you. All right, let's stop this for a minute. Stop this insanity.
Yeah.
This call to our writer's room is going to be sponsored by Moth to the Flame Candles. Okay, if you need the perfect gift, go to Facebook, look up Moth to the Flame Candles, check out their selection, or tell them the scents that you're looking for in the perfect candle. Like I did. I bought one for my mother. I bought one for my wife. They loved it.
Good.
You will too. Visit Moth to the Flame on Facebook. Did I say that right?
Moth to a Flame. Yes.
Moth
but you
to a Flame.
Yes, you can find us on Facebook.
Okay, very good. All right, let's dial the writer's room here.
Oh, good idea.
Make sure I dial that right. Okay. Yes, writer's room, please. Yes, I'll hold. Yes, writing staff. Page 2. Yeah, page 2. I just told a joke had the word avocado in it. Yeah, I know it bombed. No, it had nothing to do with the delivery. It had to do with the word avocado, okay? It's a hard word to say. It's hard to make that word funny. You should have wrote potato in there. Remember last week I told you no more Jane Fonda jokes for Adam? Okay, from now on, stop putting the word avocado in the script. No more jokes with the word avocado. You got it? All right, thank you. Here, Adam.
All right.
Wait, no, hold on a second.
What?
You know what I just realized?
What?
I realized I know why hate crimes are on the rise. I know why everybody's so angry all the time. Because when I grew up, you could finish a conversation and say, you know what? Yeah, well, screw you too.
Slam.
There it
Slam
is.
the phone,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes,
now you can't do that.
It's just not as
You
satisfying.
got to go like, you know what? Well, screw you too. Right?
And
Exactly.
It just doesn't have the same. All right, here.
Adam,
Adam, take that.
just give it to me.
There we go.
There you go.
All
I
right.
got it.
All right, on with the show.
just
All
can't
right.
get good help here. You know?
So now it is time, the whole reason you're here, for headlines, news you can use with Red Pill Jen. Bring it on, Jen. What do you got?
All right, this week we've got McDonald's workers in cities ranging from LA and Oakland to Detroit and Chicago to Tampa, Miami, and Orlando who went on strike last Thursday as they demanded a $15 an hour minimum wage from the fast food giant. According to Business Insider, employees are getting big support, at least on social media, from Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Sanders told the Insider, quote, "When working people stand together, they cannot be defeated."
So Ronald McDonald went on strike, and McDonald's is like, thank God we got rid of that scary-looking dude.
Pretty much.
Finally. After 50 years, we finally got rid of Ronald McDonald, but then all of them walked out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's enough to make you grimace.
So call
call him again?
Call those
You wanna
writers
call him
again. Yeah. So Bernie and AOC tweeted a couple times, and this is considered support.
Yeah.
Brother.
New age-
what
new
a
age
couple
support.
revolutionaries those two are. Just imagine if the American Revolution was happening today. Bernie Sanders would be tweeting, "The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming. We got to give them free college, free health care."
He got Scottish.
That's a really Scottish Bernie Sanders, but I like it.
Hey, it's better than the first Bernie
It is,
imitation
yes.
I did. Okay, I just want to let you know, I personally am not for a $15 an hour federal minimum wage. For one, I don't think it's fair to hold Tennessee to the same financial standards as California or Rhode Island. Rich states where prices are a lot higher. I don't want our cost of living to be what those states are. So I think it would lead to the biggest inflation we've ever seen since our government decided to give people who never stop working free money. That is. But I think maybe Tennessee should be $11 an hour as a minimum, and Vermont maybe is $17 an hour. That being said, I do admire it. Anytime people go on strike for a good cause, right? These are McDonald's workers. I'm sure they work hard. I don't want to work at McDonald's again.
Again.
Our country was founded by rebels and protesters, by fighters, and you will be happy to know that despite appearances, I actually haven't bought food at McDonald's. Really, I only do it like once or twice a year.
It's the Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, libertarians will tell you the market kind of dictates the wage, doesn't it?
It kind of does, yeah.
If McDonald's can't find workers for $9 or $11 an hour in a certain market, they've got to pay more.
And especially when you're seeing more and more businesses coming up that are competition for McDonald's. Like you say, oh, McDonald's is still the fast food. Like, no, it's not. There's a lot of other fast food places coming up and everything like that. So you have to look at it from like where you're going to make money from commercial wise.
Sure.
So
Let me tell you, when I worked at McDonald's, I kept forgetting that middle bun in the Big Mac. Because I try to remember while I was making them, right? I'd say, 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun. But they don't say anything about that little bun in the middle, right? They don't say anything in that song. So every once in a while, my boss would come up to me and say, "Denny, count those nuggets." I'd be like, "Okay, there's 7. He's like, "Hey, we don't sell a 7-piece McNugget, right? And quit forgetting the bun in the middle of the Big Mac. We don't sell double cheeseburgers with special sauce on them."
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the middle bun is a bottom bun, right?
Is it? I don't.
It is.
I never
it's
put it in.
supposed to
So
be a bottom.
What do
bun.
you do with the other tops?
They go on the next set of burgers that you just kind of do like an assembly line thing where just like boom, 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 boom. So you run out of buns. You're like, all right, we're done.
See, every once in a while when I worked at McDonald's, I would sneak in some stuff that we actually didn't make. Like I'd bring tater tots in. I just fry up some tater tots and really wig people out. People would go to their table, they'd have tater tots. People like, hey, McTater tots, when did you start selling? I'd be looking around like, I don't know. What are you talking about? The guy over there, he's got tater tots. I'm telling you. I used to sneak stuff into Happy Meals, really piss those parents off. I'd put like a whistle in there. So the kid would blow that whistle in the back seat all the way home. I'd put little smoke bombs and a box of matches in there. Just let them light that up in the car.
Little poppets.
So,
and
let me ask you something, Jen. Have you ever heard of an air, land, and sea?
An air, land, and sea? No, I have not.
Have you heard of an air, land, and sea?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. My buddy would order the midnight menu. Okay. And this is a real thing. Air, land, and sea and a chocolate Coke. And air, land, and sea, this is no lie, is a Filet-O-Fish patty, a Big Mac patty, and a McChicken patty.
Oh, my God,
with
that's
cheese
gross.
on Filet-O-Fish hot buns with special sauce on the bottom, tartar sauce on top. It's amazing, and it's only 4,000 calories. I'm going to tell you what. They have a midnight menu at McDonald's. I'm not kidding.
Well, you will work it back up, so don't worry.
Yeah. After midnight, sometimes say, hey, can I get an air, land, and sea? And just see what they say.
No,
That's
doing it.
That's an interesting friend to tell you that.
Not doing it. No. Speaking of Friends.
Oh.
Yeah. The cast of Friends got together for 2 days to shoot Friends: The Reunion, which airs on HBO Max on May 27th.
Hopefully not the same time as the headlines with Denny the Bull.
No, we wouldn't shut them down like that.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
we wouldn't do that.
Oh, wait a minute. May 27th, that's a Thursday.
It is a Thursday,
Nice.
so they'd be in the clear from us anyway.
Okay.
And it's not live, it's streaming, so people can catch it anytime.
All right.
But the special features all 6 of the original cast members: Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer.
Schwimmer looks exactly like Jesse Waters on
He
Fox,
does.
doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like they're related or something.
Poor Matt Perry's not looking good these days. Well, I mean, it has been 17 long years since the cast assembled on Stage 24 at Warner Brothers Studios, and audiences are anxious to see what their favorite characters have been up to.
You're right about the 17 long years. Okay, I think Lisa Kudrow still looks like Lisa Kudrow.
Courtney Cox looks great. Aniston looks great.
Well, Schwimmer looks pretty much the same. Now, who's the oldest?
I'm not real sure. I want to say it might be Matthew Perry.
I thought Courtney Cox got to be like 55 or 50.
Well, they're all 50-ish.
Yeah.
They're all in their
Aniston's like in her 50s.
Yeah, they're all in their 50s. So
You know, when that show started, Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox were like stunners.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, stunning.
I mean, they still are.
And Aniston marries Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Courtney Cox marries that goofy
David Arquette.
David Arquette.
I
Yes,
love David
that
Arquette.
goofy Arquette brother. So she's always kind of underestimated herself, methinks.
She is, yeah.
I think she went to that plastic surgeon from Escape from L.A.
Probably, yeah.
Now, although
That guy
you
was
think she looks
creepy.
good
I mean, for their age, yes.
for their age.
I do. I mean, I still think she looks fabulous.
You know who looks good for her age at 82 years old?
Shane.
No,
Betty
don't
White?
say
No,
it. Don't
don't.
say
Don't.
it. We already called them. Okay, so like I said, Lisa Kudrow looks good. On the male side, on the other hand, let's talk about Matthew Perry.
Let's.
Matthew Perry is a wreck.
Yes.
I mean, I know he's had a rough life filled with self-inflicted problems. I mean, the guy was not born with a club foot. Okay. All right. He was too young to be too handsome. He was too famous. He was too rich. He got too many chicks, too much wool. And this took a toll on him, right? So he had to lean on alcohol and drugs to get through it. Come on. I have none of these problems. I am not handsome, famous, or rich.
Yet.
And I look about as rough as Matthew Perry. So why he is in this depressed funk, right? They're not calling me back for any Friends reunions.
No, he's struggling. I hate seeing anyone struggle with addiction. It's hard, and he's been to rehab back and forth and back and forth, and that video that has been circulating.
Yeah.
It's
he has
sad.
problems like the Prince and Oprah, remember? And,
Yeah.
you know, Oprah's oppressed and the Prince only got $25 million from Diana, and right.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, bless his heart. I think Matt LeBlanc looks like an older version, a dad version of Matt LeBlanc.
He looks completely different.
He actually looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
think he looks-
I
he's
like
aged
the,
well.
He
Yeah,
aged
I'd
well.
look-
He's got the gray hair looks really good on him for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, thank God he didn't do I hate the plastic surgery.
Yes.
Yeah, he just naturally just
Yes.
grew. You know,
Aging is a
aged
thing.
well,
Let it
yes.
happen.
See, I was never a big fan of the show when it was on originally. I think I was like the wrong age, wrong gender, wrong demo. So I was like I had 2 roommates in Chicago, so it kind of hit home to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's just like going home.
Yeah, I was like going home. I was kind of a Seinfeld guy, you know.
Ugh.
But I heard they're going to have some guests on the show like Tom Selleck.
A lot.
What about Brad Pitt?
I don't think Brad Pitt's on
Because he was on the show.
He was. That's how they met, actually.
Okay.
But no, I doubt very seriously somehow that Brad Pitt's going to be.
They might surprise you.
Brad Pitt's got to go film World War Z 2. That's what.
Okay.
Brad Pitt's got to take care of all them babies he adopted. Angelina Jolie is what Brad Pitt's got to do.
That's true.
Well, according to Variety, Justice League, Man of Steel, and Witcher star Henry Cavill is in negotiations to star in Lionsgate Studios' reboot of the Highlander franchise. Highlander was a 1986 fantasy series film that, despite a box office flop, spawned many sequels, TV series, and tie-in novels. Cavill would take on the role of Connor MacLeod, a Scottish warrior born in the 16th century who learns he is immortal after he dies in battle, only to come back to life.
Okay, you screwed that up. It's Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Oh.
If you're going to say it, say it right.
Call the writers.
You know,
Call the writers.
Highlander was an incredible movie.
Oh my God.
Okay, it really holds up too.
It does hold up, yeah.
And how would I like to be Henry Cavill for just 24 hours, right? If I was built like Henry Cavill, I swear I'd just walk around without a shirt on everywhere I go. I would never wear a shirt.
You would not have had that problem on the beach with the avocado.
That's right. That's right. See, you said avocado a lot easier than I did. I struggled with it, being tongue-tied and all. But, you know, I got to tell you, I watched that movie on VHS in the 80s when it came out, right? I didn't see it in the theater. I was pretty young and I loved it. Do you remember the first sequel to that movie called The Quickening?
Yes, The Quickening,
all right.
yes.
It was 1991.
Was Christopher Lambert back for that one?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
And Sean Connery.
And Connery, yeah.
Right. The one who was not back for it was that awesome bad guy, Clancy Brown.
Oh, I love Clancy Brown.
Oh, my gosh. When the hooker comes into his room and she goes, "Hi, I'm Candy." And he goes, "I know you are," or something like that. He would go, "Ramirez." I mean, he was great. And you know who he's the voice of now? He does the voice of Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob.
Oh, wow.
That's the
forgot.
same guy
Yeah.
who was in Highlander. But anyway, The Quickening came out in 1991, right? So we're all geeked up. We can't wait for this sequel because we all loved the 1986 film, right? So there's like no trailers for it. It's coming out Friday night. 8 of us go to the theater together to see this movie. There's probably 60, 70 people in the theater. That movie was so bad that like after like 20 minutes, like a couple got up and left.
Yeah.
We were thinking, they're just going to get popcorn. They'll be back, right? No. And then like 4 more get up and leave. And then like 5 more get up and leave. Like, I'm telling you, Jen, an hour into this film, there's 8 of us left in the theater.
So you sucked it up just because I
we
paid
sucked
for that
it up.
ticket.
And I mean, we're like talking at the movie. And it made no sense. It totally pissed all over the first film.
Oh, man.
It was totally stupid. It was the worst sequel I've ever seen in my life.
This is why sometimes you should just leave the darn movie alone.
That's right.
Don't sequel it.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Clarksville Now reports that Clarksville Montgomery County School System Director of Schools Millard House II will be leaving the school district after 4 years and the job as well. This comes after months of contention surrounding House's request for a $60,000 increase in salary, which was a major factor in CMCSS budget discussions for the upcoming school year. House is the lone finalist for a superintendent position in Houston, Texas, so he will be leaving Tennessee for the Lone Star State.
What does it mean being a lone finalist? Does that just mean you're going to get the job?
Yeah, I think he's probably the only one that applied.
Yeah.
So is this like we really don't want to hire this dude? Are you going to hire me? Well, you are the lone finalist.
You're the only candidate.
I mean, we don't have any other resumes in here, so I guess we'll give you the job.
Denny's not available. So.
Denny the Bull's not available. I say let the door hit you in the house.
Yeah.
Because,
the Mill House.
Yeah. His request for this massive, 30% pay raise.
$60,000.
$60,000 pay raise. Now, this was rejected by our county commission, right? Which is pretty significant for them to reject spending my money because they're usually pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. I mean, our county commission, let's pave over every piece of farmland in Montgomery County. Yes!
Did you see the storage unit coming up in Sango?
Yeah, let's invite every foreign business owner to buy our land dirt cheap and pay poverty wages. Yes! Let's jack up wheel taxes. Yes! Let's pay this dude another $60,000. Whoa, now. We're drawing the line on that one.
Most teachers aren't even getting close to that. Most teachers are making like 40 to 50.
Yeah.
$60,000
but
is a
$60,000 just to be a superintendent. Come on.
My buddy is a janitor at the Clarksville Montgomery schools, makes $11 an hour. So so that's $22,000 a year. So a $60,000 a year pay raise, hey,
Yeah.
if they're going to pay that to you in Houston, see you later. Enjoy the Hurricanes. Look, the guy's all about the Benjamins. I can respect that, right? When you have a skill that people need and desire, you should be able to profit from it. When Joe Padula approached me about doing this show, he had to negotiate.
Of course.
My price wasn't cheap.
This talent does not
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
get this. That's
fall
right.
into your lap.
You want to hear the band, you got to pay the man.
That's right.
Money talks, right? And Millard House said, I want to make 50% more money than the mayor of Clarksville. And if y'all don't want to pay, I'm bouncing like a kangaroo right down to Texas. So, he's clearly a job jumper. He's only here for 4 years.
I was going to say 4 years is not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on to the next one. See you later. I wish him luck. Nice knowing you. That's what I say.
Yeah, well, don't let the door hit you, right?
That's right.
Well, speaking of the mayor of Clarksville and more local news, Mayor Joe Pitts recently proposed a 20-cent property tax increase, which is applied for every $100 of assessed value. Clarksville's current tax rate is 1.0296. So the increase would put the rate at nearly $1.23 per $100. The increase is to aid in Tier 1 projects, including improvements in Rossview Road and the realignment of Dunbar Cave Road, a relocated $10 million transit center for the city's bus system, and the addition of sidewalks along many roads.
So this is a 20% increase in city taxes. Not
Yes.
like a 2% a year for 10 years.
No.
He's going right for the home run, right?
Yep.
20% right now. I noticed that this was covered by like Nashville stations. Like all of them
Yeah.
had this story. Now,
That's
do you think that's
significant.
because it was a subtle increase? Like this was in newspapers in like Chattanooga.
Wow.
Hey, did you hear what the mayor of Clarksville's asking for? If it was 2%, probably wouldn't have got that kind of coverage.
I agree with you. Well, Mayor Pitts said that Clarksville's tax rate has not been higher than $1.24 since 2011, adding that, quote, our tax rate has been stable and that ours certainly is not a record out of control taxation. The article continued to say that our city's tax rate still ranks favorably when compared to Knoxville, Chattanooga, and other large Tennessee cities.
So just to put this in context, the average property value in Clarksville city limits is about $167,000. So if your property's worth that, it means you're going to see an increase of about $84 a year. So, and he is correct that from 2011 to, say, 2019, but we had another mayor then.
Then, yeah.
That was Kim McMillan, right?
Yes.
So you're right. The taxes were stable when McMillan was the mayor. But now we already had the increase of assessment value that went in last year that hit a lot of people. They started jacking up everybody's assessments. The city and the county said, hey, actually, we think we've been undervaluing all of your property, so your assessment's going to go up. Why does that matter, Denny? Because your county taxes are based on the assessment of your house. So people in Sango, people in Southside really got hammered by that. Plus, we've had these wheel taxes that the county commission like to keep jacking up on us, right? Plus, we're already paying 3 1/4 cents in sales tax for schools and all that stuff.
Well,
So
look at our 10% actual sales tax. That's
Right.
the highest
And that's
of
because we
anywhere
don't
I've ever
have the
lived.
state tax,
Yeah.
so you got to make the money somewhere. So that's why they jack up the prices.
So while we give tax abatements to all these corporations to move in and pay low factory wages, take advantage of us having no state income tax, the residents of Clarksville pay more money, right? So corporations like Hankook and LG, they get roads named after them. They get cheap taxes, cheap land, cheap energy, no state income tax, while John Q. Public pays more. So like I said, under McMillan, the tax rate was very stable. She didn't raise it, which forced the county to also not raise theirs.
Yeah.
Because you had a Democrat in the city and a Republican in the county. So if the Democrat froze rates, guess what? We better too, or else it's going to be a political loss.
Yep.
Dueling politics.
And so apparently, I'm not saying anything bad about Joe Pitts. I like him, great guy. But apparently McMillan understood basic economics that say that when more people are paying you taxes, you don't also need to raise taxes. Because you don't need to raise it when more and more people are paying property tax every day. They're paying more sales tax every day. You raise taxes in states like Michigan, where I came from originally, that are getting smaller in population every year, that are losing population yet have the same overhead costs. All right? So the remaining residents have to pay more if they want to keep what they have. But it makes no sense to raise taxes when 140 people a day are moving to your state. It makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes zero sense.
Well, maybe that's why they're doing it, because they're thinking increase in population, increase in taxes, more money. Then they could maybe pay that $60,000 to Dr. House.
You know, Adam, I said this on the Free Thinker Show. All right, I'm going to give this analogy again. If I build a store and buy a pizza oven, I'm going to open Denny's Pizzeria, right? In order to pay for the stove and the oven and my employees and myself, I need to charge $5 a pizza. Within that $5 is money for repairs and improvement and expansion and profit. All I need to do is sell a lot of pizzas, right? So on the first day of business, you two both give me $10. Okay, $5 each, I give you 2 pizzas. I bake 2 pizzas, you each got a pizza, I got $10 in my cash drawer, right? Now tomorrow, you each bring a friend. Now I'm going to cook 4 pizzas for $5 each. I'm going to have $20 in the cash register. Now, if I was Joe Pitts, I would also raise the price of pizza to $6 for you two.
That's a great analogy, actually.
I mean, that's probably the best analogy I've heard
Yeah.
when it comes to sales and stuff.
And that is the 20% raise that he is offering here. So, now I have to cook more, right?
So you got to work harder.
Right,
Yeah.
I have to work harder.
Buy more materials.
But within that $5, I already had the margin in there. So I charge you all $5. I charge your friends $5. Okay, my revenue went up. I don't need to charge $6 a pizza because I just made $20 instead of $10 with the same infrastructure, same store, same oven, just like we have the same infrastructure here. So Mayor Pitts wants you to pay now $6 for your pizza because he's selling more pizzas. So which is more money on top of more money. There's a thing we have called a volume discount, not a volume add up.
Yeah.
Not a volume add-in. You don't go to Sam's Club to pay more because you're buying in bulk. You pay less. So this makes 0 sense. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
That pun was totally
Okay, writers redeem themselves with
They
that.
did. With that one, yes.
All right.
You don't have to make that call.
I won't make that call. And I'll debate this with any politician who wants to sit over here in this chair as part of this show. I'll debate that with you.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll see who we'll see who comes a knocking.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige said recently that it was, quote, a mistake to cast Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One in the hit movie Doctor Strange. Swinton, a white woman, was cast because, as Feige says, he didn't want to fall into cliche and cast an Asian actor to play, quote, this kind of Fu Manchu ancient man sitting on top of a mountain.
He must have been that same guy that cast David Carradine to be in Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Feige says that, quote, Marvel has a very strong record of diversity in its casting of films and regularly departs from source material to bring its MCU to life.
Oh, I love talking about race. Yes, Marvel has amazing diversity. Let's look at all their main characters, Adam. Robert Downey, right? The 3 guys that played the Hulk.
Yes.
Right? Including Mark Ruffalo, the latest one then.
Yeah.
We got Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Paul Rudd, Tom Hiddleston, the Winter Soldier dude, the Vision dude. All white. Every single one I just listed. Now let's look at the older stars. Maybe that's where the diversity is, Kevin. The older stars have supported these folks. Let's see. Tommy Lee Jones, Robert Redford, Anthony Hopkins, Mickey Rourke, Jeff Bridges, Kurt Russell, Michael Douglas, William Hurt. They're all white too.
Yeah.
They are.
But he's apologizing for casting a white woman to play in a part that lasted 10 minutes in a movie nobody saw.
Call the woke police.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it took 10 years of the MCU to get Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
That was like their bone to throw. It took 10 years to get there, though. And wait, they do have one black girl in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, wait a minute. They put her in green makeup. That's right. Okay. They do have Samuel L. Jackson in all of them. And the Falcon guy, he's black.
Yes.
He's making a name for himself.
Oh, yeah. And they got that series, too, on Disney Plus.
Right.
Yeah.
And the main bad guy, the Grimace dude, he's purple.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, Kevin Feige, you got diversity all over. For every 25 white actors, you sneak in one black supporting actor. You got no problems with diversity other than this. He's got the cojones to apologize for casting a white woman as the old wizard in one movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's-
Should have got Jackie Chan for what a stupid conversation. What a stupid pandering. I swear I hate Hollywood phony liberals.
I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is stupid. It's who saw WandaVision here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I loved it. It was
didn't.
such a good series. Yeah.
Marvel's not my thing.
It was a bit of a leveling of the
Yes.
Marvel franchise because every single white character in that show was evil. Every single one of them, including Wanda.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, she wasn't the good guy in that. You can't count Vision because he's like a robot.
Yeah.
And painted red. But yeah, every single white character was evil. The head, like FBI dude, evil. The other witch, evil. So I guess that's progress.
Yeah.
Right? Because they had like every single ethnicity portrayed in that film.
Oh, yeah.
And good for them. I was just waiting for them to have like an Eskimo show up.
Oh, yeah.
In a
That'd be
parka, right? The Eskimos were literally the only ethnicity not portrayed in that show, which I thought was terrible, by the way.
too.
You liked it?
I liked it. I also like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also because it dives into that whole diversity of no one will accept an African-American male as a new Captain America. And that pretty much what the series takes upon. About anybody who's seen the movie Endgame will see that, sorry, spoiler alert, Falcon gets the shield from Captain America at the end of the movie. So with the idea of passing the mantle, but that whole series basically talks about diversity and will the society accept an African-American male as Captain America.
I canceled Disney Plus. Not really for that, mainly for the Gina Carano thing. How they treated Gina Carano of The Mandalorian, that was horrible. But unfortunately, my wife is making me get it back for Loki. So
Sorry for you.
2 months. 2 months I canceled.
There you go.
Well, you know what time it is.
Let me guess. Go ahead.
It's Biden time.
Biden time.
Biden time.
Right, Biden time. President Joe Biden stopped by the Ford Rouge plant in Dearborn, Michigan this week, and after touring the facility, took a test drive in the company's all-new electric Ford F-150 Lightning. Before driving off in the vehicle, Biden was asked about the Israel and Palestine situation. The president jokingly urged that the reporter should get in front of the truck before he would answer.
It was actually kind of a funny joke that Biden made there. He apologized for it. He went, "No, I'm just kidding." But it actually was kind of funny. Trump would have delivered that line better.
Better, yeah.
And he wouldn't have apologized for it. He'd have meant it. But
Well, and
then
he probably would have answered, which Biden didn't.
CNN would say he threatened not only the reporter, but also freedom of the press itself. They would call it an attack on our media by Trump. But, Biden gets this infantile treatment. If you listen to the reporters outside the truck as he's getting ready to drive off, they're talking to him like he is a baby.
They're like, yay.
No, literally. They're
No,
like,
I'm being serious. Yeah.
Mr. President, could I pretty please maybe kind of ask you a question about something sensitive?
No, it was shameful. Another was like,
How fast do you think it can go, Mr. President?
and they're talking to him like he's an infant. Did you see this video?
Oh, yeah. No, I saw the video.
And then he speeds off, and they all applaud.
They're like, oh, they're all laughing. They're like, oh, it's so
No,
adorable.
it's sickening. It's like how reporters probably treated Stalin.
Yeah.
Mr. President, we all know you're wonderful, but how much more wonderful do you think you could be if it's possible?
Well, he wasn't even driving the darn truck to start with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's actually what Padula showed me. He says, I don't think he was actually driving. I think the guy in the passenger seat was driving.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah,
and
Joe had
there's
turned the wheel, but yet the wheels were straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they have those driver's ed cars where, it's,
And wasn't this like a model, like a test model anyway? So you knew there was going to be two wheels on it where it's like, here, you try this one. I'll do the real driving.
So Ford is calling this an all-electric F-150. And I'm guessing there's nary a drop of gas in it. Is that what I'm supposed to understand by that?
No, I think they do have a backup fuel system, to the best of my knowledge. Now, that's just the norm with electrical, so I would assume. I mean, can you imagine just driving down the highway and you run out of power?
I was going to say, yeah.
I think there's like a backup.
So I'm just wondering, if it's all electric, we wouldn't be having to extract any fossil fuels to power this vehicle, which is wonderful, because we all know that the battery in this truck, I'm sure, is powered by fairy dust that's gathered from the rings of Saturn.
And unicorn farts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's mined out of the ground
Yeah.
in Bolivia
Pretty much.
and Afghanistan. They actually dig into the earth to get lithium that goes in the battery to
Yeah.
power this thing. And how do we charge this battery, Adam? How do you charge up this
Probably
lithium
like you
battery?
do with a smart car and plug it into
Yeah.
a magical port.
We plug it in.
Yeah.
We plug it into a power
Plug it
source.
in,
And the
plug
power
it in.
source, now, where do you think the power source is connected to?
I'm going to say electricity.
It's plugged into a grid.
Yeah.
Not the windmills, not the solar panels. It's a grid that is owned by your electric company. And that grid, like all power in the area, is generated from the same coal plant in Cumberland City that everybody else uses. So how is this some earth-saving device? I don't know. And since it'll cost twice as much as my F-150 cost me, I guess I'll keep guzzling gas until gas runs out.
Imagine your electric bill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of the Cumberland City fossil plant, the Tennessee Valley Authority, otherwise known as the TVA, recently said that it is considering retiring the 2 coal-fired units at the Cumberland steam plant and replacing them with natural gas or a combination of gas, solar, and storage facilities. The plant, which was built in 1972, has employed as many as 400 people. The TVA is hosting a virtual public open house on May 27th at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the issue.
No, wait a minute. That's the same night as Friends.
I was just thinking that, so I'm sorry, friends.
Can't you stream it while you're at this virtual thing? Be like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm
no,
listening.
come on,
Yeah.
Joey.
Sure.
Like, come on.
Now, I read that replacement facilities could require a natural gas pipeline and transmission upgrades, depending. So are we talking about fracking here? Is it because I think I'd rather keep the coal fire going than start running fracking pipes all over Middletown.
Yeah.
And wait, fracking is when they. I've read briefly about it. It's when they run the pipe in it.
They're extracting liquid natural gas out of the
Okay.
earth.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what you get is earthquakes
Yes.
from that.
Okay.
And,
Shakes,
we've
everything, yeah.
we've already got enough shakes around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From exercises when Padula's up there shooting rockets up at Fort Campbell, the ground rumbles.
Yeah, and the fault line.
Or when they're breaking up concrete downtown or over at the quarry, right? We already get the ground rumbling. So if you think that's bad, wait till you get some. You know, one of the things I love about living here is the cheap energy. That is one of the things this area has to offer. We have much cheaper energy than where I came from. I can tell you that.
Crystal meth, I've heard, is very affordable.
Oh, yeah. We use that to power cars.
Energy, I mean.
There you go.
Call the writers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me that phone, Adam.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of controversial statements, coming out of Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is being accused of only granting interviews to minority press members. The second-year mayor faces allegations of racism for choosing to speak with journalists solely based on the color of their skin.
You mean instead of based on the content of their character?
Exactly. Exactly. Politicians such as former Hawaii Congresswoman and presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard took to Twitter to demand that Lightfoot resign immediately for, quote, anti-white racism.
You know, Adam, I thought we'd made progress by the time we twice elected a black man with a Muslim name.
Yes.
You know, I thought that the fact that some of the most famous and respected people in America were people like Oprah or Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson or Eddie Murphy or Shaq or LeBron or Obama, I thought that we were over being divided. And you know what? I think we are over it. I think 99% of us are over it. I think Charles Barkley nailed it during the Final Four when he said on live television that the powerful want us to be divided. Back up, because if we're fighting with each other, we're not fighting them.
That's right.
We're toppling them.
United we stand, divided we fall.
We are ignoring the shameful operation of our government when we're fighting with each other. But I don't think we really are fighting. You know, I've worked 27 years in incredibly diverse work environments, and I just don't see skin color. I really don't. And I want to give you a real life example. Morgan Freeman was here in town. He was eating at Tandor. Yeah. And folks were racing over there to see him because people were saying on social media, oh, my God, Morgan Freeman's here eating lunch. People were racing over to see him, and they were white. What?
Love
White
Morgan
people
Freeman.
were trying to catch a glimpse of an outstanding actor who happens to be black? No way.
Yeah.
See, we can't let the establishment fool you with their division and media race baiting and canceling. Don't let them force feed you Kamala Harris because she's half Indian and half Jamaican. That somehow makes her just great. It doesn't mean squat. She's a hollow phony. I don't care what her skin color is. But see, Lori Lightfoot is a bona fide racist. And there are plenty of black racists, plenty of white racists. When my dad and I went to see Coming to America in 1988, he said, hey, let's go see that black actor Eddie Murphy's new movie. No, he didn't say that. He said, let's go see the new Eddie Murphy movie because he was funny and he was a talent. Who are two beloved Tennessee Titans legends? Air McNair, Eddie George, right?
Yep.
A lot of white folks wear their jerseys.
Yep.
Does anybody say, hey, they were pretty good black football players? No.
No.
I didn't say that for 10 years when I was proud to wear a Barry Sanders jersey up in Detroit, because greatness transcends skin color. And the fact that politicians and media scumbags will not shut up about race means that there is an agenda being pushed. And it's being pushed hard. Like Charles Barkley said, it was around with Obama, it exploded under Trump, but don't fall for it. Don't play their game.
Don't let them divide us.
Exactly.
Well, did you hear that we finally have a ceasefire in the fighting between Israel and Palestine?
Yeah, because Israel ran out of rockets.
Rockets, yeah.
Is that what it
They
was?
ran out of rockets and bullets and grenades, and I think they were throwing tomatoes and lettuce at the end. I think they just ran out of all of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, according to President Joe Biden, he spoke for 3 minutes about the Egyptian-brokered ceasefire, which would put a temporary halt to rocket attacks, airstrikes, and other violence that has killed a dozen Israelis and well over 200 Palestinians.
Yeah, it's temporary until that $735 million arms deal that Biden just approved goes through, and it
That
goes,
check gets over there.
Yeah,
to
we
them.
get back to
Oh,
business.
Okay, cool.
So for Jen, you're saying for every Israeli killed, 25 Palestinians are killed. Yeah, that's fair fighting.
I'm not a
Better sell,
numbers person,
yeah,
but-
better sell Israel some more rockets. Israel has a right to defend itself, is the mainstream media narrative. Nothing to do with the fact that the media companies are under the thumb of AIPAC, the Israel lobby that is more powerful than the NRA and Big Pharma combined. Nothing to do with that at all. Nothing to do with Joe Biden getting $4 million in campaign contributions from Israeli not lobbyists. Nope, just a coincidence. They just pay that money for an occasional nice dinner at the White House. But here's what bothers me. When the entire media is in agreement on a side, when they're all in agreement on a narrative, whether it's, hey, we should go to Vietnam when the French leave. Hey, we should go into Iraq because a dictator whom we installed now has weapons of mass destruction that he really doesn't have. Hey, we all should stand with Israel on this. When the entire mainstream media on left and right, when Jesse Waters is agreeing with Chris Cuomo, brother, you better be on your guard.
There's a problem.
Something's off.
Something's up.
Smells fishy
That's
in
right.
the state of Denmark.
It's, yeah. Well, whistleblower Rebecca Jones claims of being pressured to falsify COVID numbers in Florida has been debunked. The state staffer had previously claimed that she was told to manipulate COVID cases and death statistics to make Florida look better after Governor Ron DeSantis lifted the mask mandates last fall, and again after he allowed public gathering in places like beaches. Now, however, it seems that Jones was a junior staffer who never had the authority or the ability to manipulate the numbers in this manner. In fact, investigation into her background has shown that she was fired for other reasons and that she has had a troubled history with multiple discharges for disruptive behavior in the workplace.
Yet not one of the media outlets in which she appeared, all of them worth billions of dollars and with a lot more staff than we have here at Headlines with Denny the Bull, none of them vetted her. None of them bothered to do this research because she was going along with the narrative they already wanted to spread. Right? Andrew Cuomo was looking terrible because of the nursing home scandal.
Yeah.
Yet he was getting help by his brother and their little comedy routines they were doing on his primetime show. Right? Meanwhile, in Florida, Ron DeSantis was looking good. And so when he lowered the mask mandate, they wanted someone to say it's going to cost a lot of lives. And here comes Miss Jones, right?
Yeah.
She comes along with the very narrative to fan the flame that they were already lighting.
Well, it sounds like she's pretty expendable given her position within the...
So it was a perfect fit, so they put her in front of every camera they could to tear him down. Unfortunately, they didn't bother to do journalism and vet her. And so now, kind of like when 60 Minutes, remember they aired that speech of his and they cut half of it out.
Yep.
They're helping this guy. They are making him look good, just like they did with Trump in 2015 and 16 by constantly going after him with fake stories like this one. And it's not the decided partisan voters who they're pushing to vote for DeSantis in 2024. It's not the Republicans. It's the independents they're pushing to do this. The uninformed, the undecided voters who now see how the media is treating this guy, and they feel bad for him, just like with Trump in 2016. The mainstream media is making Ron DeSantis a star. And then when he wins the presidency, they're going to say, how did this happen? Why are there so many racists out there? Just like they did with Trump.
Yeah.
They're making him. They're giving him a win here.
Yeah.
And, they're not going to be able to make Kamala Harris a star in 2024. We all know who she is. But this girl wanted to be a star. She wanted to be a media darling. She's a nice-looking young lady. Now she's raised hundreds of thousands in GoFundMe money. And now she's falling in disgrace, right? And she was caught lying about the whole thing. So how many times is this going to happen? With Jesse Smollett, that TV star who hired the two guys to beat him up. Who is that scumbag lawyer of Stormy Daniels?
I keep forgetting
Avenatti, Michael Avenatti.
Yeah.
He's another goof. Remember they were calling him a 2020 top contender?
Tender?
Right.
Yeah, no way.
I had a $5 bill for every time the media props up some BS artist, I don't know, Jim.
We could get a better writing team.
I could pay for that 20% tax increase Joe Pitts has given me.
Well, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee is facing backlash after signing anti-LGBTQ bills, including 2 bathroom bills, into law. In March, the governor signed a bill banning transgendered athletes from middle and high school sports. In April, he signed legislation requiring school districts to alert parents 30 days in advance before students are taught about gender identity, including an opt-out option. He also recently signed a bill banning doctors from providing gender-confirming hormone treatment to prepubescent minors. With the 2 bathroom bills now signed as well, Tennessee has officially filed more proposals addressing the subject than any other state other than Texas.
Adam, I defer to you.
Yes. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Here's my take on this. May not be popular, but I believe it's your right to live your life in peace. I believe
that too.
You have the freedom once you're an adult at 18 to become whatever you want to be. If you're a biological man and think you're a woman, go ahead and transition. It's your choice as an adult, but you do not have the right to force me to acknowledge something that is not true. In other words, you can believe it. You're right. I won't infringe on that, but you cannot force me to believe it.
Right. And I'm agree with you on that one. I mean, I feel like this topic will never go away. And I mean, when you got people like Caitlyn Jenner, who was a male but now identifies as a female, saying we need to keep males in male sports, we need to keep female in female sports. Now you got these bills coming around with, are they allowed to do these sports? But I agree with you on the whole thing where it's at a certain age is when you should decide what you want to be, but don't force it onto people that want to be like, these young kids where they're forcing this knowledge on them, or this idea of, hey, you could be anything you want to be at this age. It's like these kids' minds have not developed. Let them develop a little bit, experience the world.
That's right. Jen, what do you think?
Well, I've always been a supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, and my views on transgendered individuals are quite different than y'all's, but for the sake of time and to stay on topic, I'm not going to discuss that.
Okay.
What I will say is this, is that I don't believe, like, for example, as a child, I was a tomboy. I climbed trees. I played sports. I didn't wear dresses. By today's standards, that might have made society look at me as though, oh my gosh, she's really a boy. I am very much a female. I'm fortunate to be comfortable in my body. So I will say that I do believe that we shouldn't be pushing this type of line of thinking on children. As far as the bathrooms, my final word on it, guys, we have had gender neutral bathrooms forever. Go to the mall. There is a bathroom. It says right there, it's a family bathroom. You might be waiting and see a man come out. So just gender neutral bathrooms, I think, are great. Just fine. Who cares? Just use the bathroom.
Yeah. This may be controversial. So let's say I said today, I'm just drawing this as an analogy because I'm going to ask you this. If I said today that I now identify as a black man, okay? My family is not from Canada and France before that. My family is actually from Africa. And despite appearances, I now identify as a black man. Okay? In fact, I am a skinny black man. Now, let's make it that way, okay?
Okay.
Now, I believe I have the right to believe that. But I do not have the right to force you to believe that.
That's very correct.
Because it's not a fact. It is not science. And you can see that it's not science based on the evidence that I'm white, right? So me forcing you to believe something that isn't true, to me, is no different than me trying to manipulate you.
Yeah.
But I do believe in my right to believe I am a black man. Okay? It's funny. Liberals say follow the science in regards to masks, but not here. Because I'm basing that on science. No one is preventing you from becoming another gender. So I'm all for the LGBTQ right to change genders. Go ahead. That is your freedom.
Well, and that's where it should stop. Fine.
That's where it stops.
Period.
You do not have the freedom to force me to believe that you're something that's not true. And you know who supports that? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, which I was very surprised, and I saw her new campaign ad, and to be honest, a lot of what she says makes a lot of sense.
That's right. Based on what Caitlyn Jenner just said, he had the choice to become a woman, but he is still a biological man. If he's going to run track in competition, like in the Olympics, he would have to run it against men.
And to clarify for our viewers, this is a quote from Caitlyn Jenner. This is not Denny the Bull misgendering or using
right.
incorrect pronouns. We are reporting on what Caitlyn Jenner said.
Right.
I wanted to say that.
That's right.
So we got time for one more?
Maybe a quick one.
Okay,
Do you have a quick one?
I got a quick one, and
Okay.
it's fun. We can end
All right.
on a nice happy.
All right.
Well,
Well,
it's
cool.
not really fun, but it's kind of mean.
We'll see.
But did you guys hear that Chrissy Teigen is getting canceled?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I love Chrissy. She's hilarious.
Here's the thing, though. She's one of those celebrities I just don't get, Adam. What's her vocation?
I don't know.
What is she good at?
She's a model, and she's married to
Model
John
John
Legend.
Legend. That's pretty much all she's got.
Okay.
And
Well,
didn't she do like
She's got a cooking-
lip sync
Yes.
battle? She was the female DJ host up there.
But she's
like,
not
so-
pretty.
I mean, she's okay looking. I'm
Cindy
not going to say
Crawford's
she's
pretty.
ugly.
Cheryl
but
Teagues
she's
is pretty.
decent looking.
Yeah, Paris Hilton, pretty. I'm
Yes,
all
yeah,
for
I
that.
That one, you
disagree
kinda
with
cross the line
there,
with
yeah.
Paris.
Not
No, I
Paris.
mean, but they're pretty.
Not
But I
Paris.
mean, I get it. I don't see.
Well, do you know what she did?
Okay.
Here's what she apparently did, and this was back several years ago. Chrissy Teigen's a huge presence on Twitter. Well, I guess this random fan, she just started bullying her and was in her private inbox telling her that she should go kill herself and just all this. So it all came, and I guess the girl sued her. It all came up to light here recently. Chrissy issued a apology. Girl isn't satisfied, and now everyone is going crazy calling her out for it.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad, but she also dressed up as a Native American. John Legend dressed up as a
Yes.
cowboy in that
Cowboys,
picture.
yeah.
That didn't look good.
She's done.
That-
She's done a lot of sketchy things.
questionable things.
Yeah, she
Got her
has.
comeuppance. Well, I just want to remind all of you that we live in a society where the right believes that abortion is murder and guns are freedom. And the left believes that guns are murder and abortion is freedom. And we may never agree on those two issues. So let's just agree on the other 98% of issues, okay? Let's agree that McDonald's employees deserve more than $7.25 an hour.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
They work pretty hard.
Yeah.
Let's agree that a 2% property tax increase is okay, but 20% is not okay, Joe.
Boo.
Nope.
Let's agree that we thought the cast of Friends was young and funny and beautiful back when we were also young and funny and beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, now
Speak
not so
for
much.
yourself.
Yeah. Let's agree none of us can understand why Chrissy Teigen's a celebrity.
Uh,
All right.
No.
And let's agree that anyone who asked for a $60,000 pay raise in 1 year had better be throwing touchdowns for the Titans.
Yeah.
Not ordering school lunch supplies.
Yeah.
And they probably have a concussion.
All right, let's agree on all these things. We'll disagree on just a couple. All right. For Adam, for Red Pill Jen, again, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Headlines with Denny the Bull. See you next time.